I went to Snooze and A&M Eatery out in Denver, Colorado is where it was based out of. And I was with them for about 13 years. And I did everything with them, with helping with menu things, but mostly opening up new restaurants for them. And I was doing that for, forever. I think I opened over 30, 35 restaurants with them.
Wow.
So I was on the road quite a bit, but
Restaurant opening is a wild time.
wild.
Yeah, and I remember you saying you didn't even have an apartment during that time you were on the road so much.
There was a full year and a half that I was living out of Airbnbs. I threw my dog in my car and we hit the road, and I went from snooze to snooze. And then I got my apartment back in Denver when I was still doing it. And I'm like, well, this apartment's a waste of money.
Right.
I mean, it was a nice, to come home, I guess. But yeah, there was an amount of time where I was just living on the road for a really good amount of time. I loved it. It gets draining at some point.
I bet, yeah.
But I wouldn't have changed it for the world. I loved it too so much where I never went to culinary school. I asked questions of cooks that would get hired or chefs that were coming into Snooze. And I just what are you doing? What's that? How come you're cooking it that way? And I just learned cooking from that aspect of it and reading cookbooks and cooking shows. So I kind of was just oh, that looks fun. I want to make a cookie with sausage in it.
Yeah, right. But that's the best way to learn how to cook, right? I mean, is to be curious and ask questions and just jump in, both feet, both hands, whether you know what you're doing or not, right?
And it was the greatest thing for me.